Test, test, test. Anything else you want to promote? Okay, that's good. That's just a test on our end. And looks like we're ready. And we're going to go live. And you guys can probably hear us. I will bring a video feed up in a minute. So looks like we're getting up and going live here. And I will add a video feed. You should see Lurch, Mr. Ugly over there, and then this beautiful face right here. So it's going to be a split screen. You're going to see ugly one side and then beautiful over here. No?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
All right. True. It looks good on our end. What I'm wondering is, all of you out there, does it look good and sound good on your end before we get going here? This is a live public video broadcast and chat. We have live chat. With that said, 95% of these guys, if you're watching publicly, we reserve these live video broadcasts and chat for our beloved patron members, mid-level and above. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. There's a bunch of benefits for getting signed up, plus you're supporting us. A bunch of bikers trying to help as many bikers as we can worldwide, but you get a ton of benefits for it. And so we like to throw these public ones out there every once in a while. So you can get a taste of the fun we have behind the scenes here. And thank you. Anybody, how's it looking? Are you monitoring that at all, Lurch? Lurch is a producer technically, if you've never seen Lurch, but he doesn't act like a producer. Like a producer would tell you, hey, audio's good, video's good.
I was waiting for somebody to say something.
But he's sitting over there on a porn site.
Looks good,
He's looking at porn again on his work computer that I...
Yeah, you probably don't want to look at the search history on this thing.
No doubt, dude.
Yeah, Mike Nielsen says looks good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Friel says sounds good and looks good, so I think we're good to go.
Hopefully you guys have a beverage of your choice. It is a Friday afternoon at the time of recording this. We've been working our ass off, and I know so many of you have been working for the man out there. You're ready to kick back and talk about some biker stuff. That's what this community is all about. We love it. We love interacting with you guys. And so we do have a bunch of patron members in there. But again, this is a live public. We have moderators in there. And I will just tell you, Brad Johnson, Charles Wilburn, Gary Jackson, others are going to be popping in. You guys, we don't put up with trolls here at all. Keyboard warriors. And we have a really good history of that because we have moderators in there, and you have my full authority. If it's not productive to the conversation and it's really negative and it has nothing to do with nothing, just kick them out, ban them. I'm fine with that. You have my full authority to do that. Matt Haywood's in there. So yeah, you moderators pay attention to that. Kick the trolls out. We burn trolls down on this channel. We don't allow it. That's not what the biker community is all about. And it's not how we support each other. This is a positive channel and we're here to help each other. There's no dumb question. So yeah, with that said, looks like we are good to go. We're going to have a very fun episode. Again, this is kind of how we get started. This will also come out in regular podcast format, but it'll be a while. This is kind of early access for everyone. Most of the time, our patron members get podcasts really early in your patron accounts, but this give you just a little taste, Lurch, a little taste. All right, let's do this thing, huh? All right. Here's the deal, guys. A lot of modifications to my 24 Street Glide. We're going to dedicate this episode to a lot of talk about that and what's going on. But one of the very first things I did, one of the first two things I would say, one of the first five. Okay, maybe one of the first seven. It's in there. All right. That is, I always change it on every bike, guys. If you haven't seen the video, it's on this YouTube channel. But it is Kiriakin shift linkage. Watch the video. I've done multiple videos on it over the years. You can search the YouTube channel or the website. We have good searchability on both. Essentially, in a nutshell, your stock linkage, guys, it's not a matter of if, but when. And you may be one of those lucky ones that it doesn't fail. But we've seen multiples. Popeye's failed. We've had the others fails. The shifter arm is a different issue that failed on me in Wyoming. I have a video, got a lot of hits on the channel. Check that video out too. That's your shifter shaft arm. That could also go bad. There are things you need to check, especially when you're long distance touring. You don't want to get stranded. I shifted with my hand to get back to town, but nonetheless, we've been selling the heck out of them. You want to get that stock linkage out. It's a pressed ball and socket. We all know it's like pot metal. It hasn't been updated since like 80. Even with the brand new 24s, it's the same setup. Ain't no chance this guy is going to have that go bad, because I know it's going to. Change it out with our beloved Kuryakin shift linkage. We've got it in the Law Abiding Biker store, available to you guys. Lurch, you want to talk a little bit about Morit and colors and options and availability?
Yeah, we pretty much have bought out, turned 14 our distributor on these things. We sold them completely out of the, there's a couple different models. There's one called the Sculpted, and then there's one called Grooved. They're both Kuryakin shift linkages. They're available in chrome, black, or a black chrome combo. Chrome by far has been the most popular. We've sold out all of the Sculpted, and I think we're almost sold out of the Grooved. If we're not, we will be shortly. But we still have black and the black chrome. I'm checking every day to see when they come back in stock.
They're our wholesaler guys,
and hopefully we'll get some more of those in there.
If you didn't know, Rocky Mountain, Tucker Rocky, we're Drag Specialties reseller. We're also Parts Unlimited. We're Turn 14, and at one point, for a lot of years, we were Tucker Rocky. Tucker Rocky went out of business. We are now a dealer for Turn 14, who bought them out, and Tucker Rocky bought the Kuryakin brand, so they were doing Kuryakin stuff. Turn 14, when they took over, Tucker Rocky bought the Kuryakin brand with it, and so they're the manufacturer of that now, or the wholesaler, I should say. And so the Kuryakin brand, we've sold so many of these. We literally, I'm trying to focus my camera, bought them out, but we're always checking. They will be coming back. I just put a link in the chat here to those linkages. And we've got a bunch of different styles. I put just a basic chrome on, and I love it. So get that on there, guys. It's a better Heim joint instead of the ball and socket. And we've never to date seen one of these fail. And we've got them on pretty much everybody's bikes around here. They're just going to last because they're a Heim joint. You can trust it, because when we leave in June to the East Coast for a long ride that I'm looking forward to, ain't no way this guy's getting broke down because some damn shift linkage. So get it fixed and get over to the Law Abiding Biker store. We're probably the only ones left online with them in stock, because we just, like we said, we sell a lot of them, so we just bought them out. But anything else, Lurch?
That was a big truckload.
That was a dude. I saw the pictures, dude. I was like, holy cow, how much money you spend, Lurch? Jeez Louise, dude.
A little bit. Yeah. You told me I could.
Yeah, I did. And Lurch has been busy. And we got some other exciting products that we're not going to talk about it, but we installed it today. It's coming to the store. We're super excited. Like, everybody's going to want it. I tested it. There's a lot of reasons for it. Again, we could go down that rabbit hole, but we don't quite have them in stock yet. So we're going to wait on that, Lurch. How about that?
Thank you.
Lurch is like, do not talk about it, guys. All right.
Well, the problem is you get all excited and you start talking about stuff that I don't have in stock yet.
I can't help it.
And then people start ordering it, and I got to deliver all those orders when they come in.
Yeah, I know.
Once we get the product in our hands. So
I like making Lurch's life miserable. It's great. All right. You want to ride longer? Are you tired of a sore and achy ass? And Lurch's ass is sore and achy because he needs to stop hanging out in dark alleys after he's been drinking at the bar all night.
It was really nice having Rick and Oscar, Big Daddy and Oscar in here, and some other people. Anthony was in here not long ago.
Right.
Peters. Now that it's just you and I, it's back to you giving me a ration of shit again.
I know, bro.
Need to work on getting more people in here so the heat's off me.
Takes the heat off, Lurch. Oh, I love you, bro. Puts up with my crap. All right. Well, if you are tired of sore and achy ass for whatever reason, you do you. You guys, you know what? I'm not here to judge. But I would fix it with a high quality butt buffer seat cushion. That's right. Tried and tested. Been running it. It's one of the first 10 things I did to my bike. All right. We put a different seat on it. We're going to talk about that, but butt buffer's going on it. Don't matter what kind of seat you have. You got to have a butt buffer, guys. Hospital grade material, takes the pressure points away. I've been riding it for thousands of miles cross country. I actually could imagine riding without it, because I forgot it on one trip and I was very, very sorry. And it made me reappreciate how much that thing does at such an affordable price. And we've moving those things, and we've got them in stock over at the Law Abiding Biker store. That's our butt buffer, guys. lawabidingbiker.com/store. All right, Bikeaholics, let me tell you this. Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing, named Gold Strike.
I like gold.
That's right. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products. And of course, Zero, we love them, we know them, trust them. Been selling them in the store for years. They are currently, they 3D modeled a 24. So you know they're going to come out with some badass stuff for the 24 and newer models with the new redesign. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. And we will be selling that in our store. And of course, we'll be doing install and review videos on all of that stuff, guys.
One thing I just want to add to the linkage discussion, because it's hard to believe, but you started talking over me and took over the conversation.
So not going to happen.
A lot of the bikes, most of the bikes come with, they're not chrome, but they come with a aluminum colored shifter. It doesn't matter if they're black bike or black trimmed bike or chrome trimmed bike. That stock linkage is usually an aluminum color. So a lot of people have been buying the chrome, but if you got a black bike, even if you don't, if you just want to add a little bit of pizzazz to it, consider the black. Or the black and chrome linkage, dress it up a little bit. I think that black and chrome linkage looks really good because it kind of mimics the fins on the bike.
Yeah, good call, bro. I appreciate that. So I'm doing this real quick, guys, and I'm just throwing it in your link because somebody was asking, I believe, or I see some, try to monitor those comments the best we can. Ross is in there too. Tom, sorry. I haven't said that in a long time. Ross Tomes. Yeah, he's a moderator too. So yeah.
I would just say that TZ says, hey guys, and Ryan, thanks for making, hey guys, Ryan, thanks for making the IFCU videos. Very helpful. You got that out so fast. Great job.
We just did an episode before this, and I had talked all about the IFCU, and it will be coming out. Patrons, you're going to get it within the next couple days because you get it in the back end of your patron accounts. Everybody else, it'll be a month or so. But I go over my kind of review of it and a lot of insight in it, but I talked about that. It was a stressful time. I basically went under for 2 weeks. Lurch knows. Didn't hear from me.
Just disappeared.
I had to just go.
And just disappeared.
All in, learn it, master it, out on the road, film it, edit it, get it uploaded, get it available. So thank you so much. If you guys want to get those IFCU, that's the new digital dash in the Harleys, lawabidingbiker.com/IFCU or /digital Harley digital dash, whichever is easiest for you to remember. I dropped a link to the butt buffers in the chat there, guys. Yeah, so a lot going on around here, as you can see. All right, so here's the deal. As bikers, we all know that unexpected things can happen, all right? That's a given. We already talked about it. Shift linkage breaking. We know how to fix that. We know how to fix some other things, weak points, things like that. Be ready. Be prepared. Many of us are prepared for that with our Cruise Tools RTH3 roadside emergency repair kits from the Law Abiding Biker store, our travel roll tool kits. We've got a whole bunch more stock of that coming in because we're low. We move those things for a reason because we trust them. We've used them. So more serious, though, than a mechanical issue, which most of us are prepared for. We think about those. For whatever reason, we don't think about like medical emergencies or somebody going down or an injury. And that's serious, guys. That's more serious than a mechanical issue, right? So that's why we brought the Law Abiding Biker First Aid and Trauma Kit right to the Law Abiding Biker store at a very affordable price. So we've given you no reason at this point not to be prepared with a small and easily stowable biker prepared first aid kit. We really looked into these when we were trying to source one for the store. We wanted to make sure that we thought it out, basically. We thought this biker first aid kit out to make sure it has the necessities without overdoing it, all right? To keep it small and compact. Because, us bikers, we overdo shit. We put way more shit on our bikes than we need.
What?
We buy too much shit. We obsess about shit, and then we take stuff off and we put new stuff. Yeah, so we all know that, all right? But we didn't want to do that with this kit because we got to keep it compact, all right? So this kit comes with everything you need, such as a plethora of different size bandages, gauze, compression dressing, medical tape, latex gloves, whistle, scissors, rescue blanket, most importantly, a military-grade tourniquet that can save a life. The tourniquets are so important, guys. A lot of people are just carrying them around now. It's just a must. And all these items are inside a very tightly packed tactical nylon MOLLE bag measuring 8x4x4. Best of all is that our design kit is biker approved because it has our name stamped right on the outside of the kit. It's not a gimmick, not a knockoff, all right? This is not something you should have with you at all times, but a must-have at all times. You can get it, the Law Abiding Biker First Aid and Trauma Kit, right in the Law Abiding Biker store. And if you end up using it, and if you're still alive, please tell us a story about it. That's a joke. We hope you're alive. If you go down, you're not seriously injured. But, if it helped you out, we would love to hear the story and share that with the biker community. And let me see real quick, guys, if I can grab that. And we move these things as we appreciate your support. We had been asked for it for so long, and we put so much of our effort into making sure it was the right kit. And because we had been asked so much, we're like, okay, we're going to do this. And you guys came through and have been just moving those things. And we just got an order. Like I saw you the other day, Lurch, some guy bought like 10 of them. And I think what happens is a lot of, clubs or somebody like with Hog Group is like going in with them with friends, and then just distributing at a meeting or something, which is a good idea because anything over $100 in our store, you get free shipping. So, just buy 10 of them and have all your friends Venmo you and then pass them out, or it's a great biker gift. A lot of reasons, but that's the one gift that, that you'll feel good about if it helps somebody and saves a life. And, giving a biker, somebody who might not think about that stuff, something like that, and saying, hey, think about it. I'm going to do it for you. So you got to carry it now, bro. I'm going to be checking. So we appreciate all of your guys' support. All right. So we're going to do it a little different today. We're just going to keep going. We're not even going to do a music intro because we're live. It's a video broadcast and chat.
All right.
So we can do that on the audio is fine too, huh? We're always changing it up.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to do it. We got a lot to talk about, so we just want to keep going. All right. So we do have, what do we have here? A voicemail or nothing? Blank, but it's there. All right, because I didn't check before the show. All right. Do we have a new free video?
Absolutely.
Oh, Lurch, you got a new free video. Oh, this is very fitting for this episode. Amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a producer, he comes through once in a while, dude.
Yeah, so this free video is, this dealership sold me a 2024 Harley, and all this happened. A link will be in the show notes, but it's a video on you purchasing your 2024 Harley Street Glide, and a little bit behind the scenes showing what they need to do to your bike to get it, do the birth certificate and get it up and going, and just kind of all that's involved. It's been a good time since either one of us purchased a brand new Harley through the dealership. So fun experience.
I am looking at the video as we speak.
All right, it's here.
Oh, hey, look at there.
Arrived.
Oh,
And it's playing. I'm going to grab a share link. So I haven't looked at this video for a couple of weeks because I've been so busy doing other stuff. Almost 130K views, guys. This video blew up. It's a fun video. We get to joke a lot at the dealership. Behind the scenes, me actually purchasing the bike, kind of what I'm going through. Here we go. Ryan's new bike. Ooh, I screwed that up, Ryan. I'm putting it in the, I'm sure most of you have seen it, but there's a link directly to it, and tons of comments. I couldn't even keep up with them. I tried, but I did comment a lot on that video and answer people. I like to try to do that. So yeah, that video's out. It's just a fun video. Grab a drink, of your choice, kick back, throw your feet up, and just have a good time for what's like 13 minutes, 14 minutes long, something like that. And you get to see a little bit behind the scenes. And great dealership too that I bought it from. We talk about that dealership and how they took care of me there. My local dealership on top of it. So I was pretty stoked about that. All right. So this episode is going to be all about my new bike. We've been busy with it, what we've done. It's just going to be a lot of just open discussion, and some of it may be based on your comments, guys. We do try to monitor that. So if you have questions, that can steer the conversation. We love this. We love just talking with you guys. It's just a powwow of bikers. And I will tell you some of the things I've done to it, had a lot of parts come in, some of the things I plan on doing with it, and so forth, and everything in between. So we love our sponsors, up front. These folks are also sponsors. We consider sponsors, and they're a direct reason that we're coming to you after 11 years. We're the OGs in the YouTube motorcycle space and the podcast space, and we're still here. And these are some of our newest patron members. Lurch, you want to thank them?
We would like to thank Ben Mira of Bellevue, Ohio, Bill Swanton of Waltham, Massachusetts, and Gary Team of Locations Unknown.
There you go. Thanks so much, guys. LawAbidingBiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content, no risk to you. It's beautiful because you can put a monthly cap so you stay within your budget. There are a plethora of benefits for signing up. T-shirt, stickers, access to the private Facebook group, which is a troll-free zone, nothing but bikers helping and connecting with other bikers. Podcasts early, live video broadcasts and chat like this. You get access to these all the time. This is rare. We're doing it public. These are usually closed to members only. You get access to premium videos up on request, and of course, access to those large ride meetup and events that we host, like we have in past years. We're doing a big event in Tennessee, and that's going to be big for patron members. Russell Roberts is heading that up over there. And then there's a lot of other events going on that are being organized right in that private Facebook group. So it's a forum, a help place, a connection place. It's just amazing and blowing up over the years. So again, head over to lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon and get signed up. We'd love to have you as members. We've got a lot of members in the chat. There's public in there too, but a lot of our moderators and members are in there too. So we appreciate every one of you being here. All right. So Lurch, with that said, let's dive into, I made some notes here. I know I did.
Yeah, they're right where you put them.
There we go.
Yeah.
Under main topic. Imagine that. All right. We already talked about the, let's just start with this. The new, so my 24 Street Glide, I went with Street Glide, I went with Chrome, I went with Whiskey Fire. Love it. Got a lot of compliments around town on that bike and that color. I am a Street Glide guy through and through every day at my full-time paying job as a police motorcycle officer and instructor. I get to ride an Electra Glide, and that's very similar, obviously. It's a spitting image of the Street Glide. So it's familiar to me. It's what I like to ride on, train on, compete on. And so it makes sense that I stick with a Street Glide. Now, I know a lot of you look, the roadies, they're great looking.
You're not manly enough to ride a road glide. You stick with that.
Here's what I say. All you road glide guys now, since Lurch wanted to bring it up.
I've been riding one for years.
I know you have, but now you're old news. Here's the deal. At one time in life, you were cool for a year. And then you were even cool slowly for a couple years. But now, dude, you're just one of the minions riding around on a road glide because everybody's got to get a road glide and everybody's got to get a black road glide. So you're nothing more than a minion now.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. And you were riding a Street Glide for years like everybody else. So
I know. And now I'm cool. So
finally, after all these years,
you just got to admit,
I don't know if you're cool.
I
admit
just
different.
You were cool at one point. You've lost your luster. That's what your wife says. That's what I'm saying.
I just love my roadie. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've rode them both.
You brought it up, bro. Yeah. But no, all you road glide guys, I love you. I don't care what you get, but the road glides definitely are getting, to me, they're everywhere now. And
King of the Baggers really
it lost its, it is.
Brought that on.
And they're badass. I've ridden them. I actually, the Police 2023, we went to 120th anniversary. They knocked out and released a road glide version of the Police model. 2 months prior got to test that bike on an actual competition course, and it's great. It's great. It's a great bike. These are all, it's fun. It's just the typical banter. So road glide guys, I know the road glide guys, you guys you're very sensitive people and you get butt hurt really easy. And so I want to soften it up and say, you're okay. You're kind of cool. Not as cool as Street Glide. All right, this can go nowhere.
It is the battle that will go on forever.
We have fun
it's
with
the Ford versus Chevy. It's the Batwing versus
I honestly don't get into it. I could care less. I've ridden the road glides, the street. I love them all, dude. They're all bikes and your knees are in the breeze. But come on, we got to have fun here, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, we already talked a little bit about the infotainment control unit. Big digital dash in your face. It is going to be the way you interact with your Hardy. A large portion of the way, just like your car, guys, it's nothing new. It's just a lot of guys get mad. You can't get mad. It is what it is. You don't have to like it. Life is about change. It's going to change whether you like it or not. You're not eventually going to be able to get a touring model without this digital dash. So just either accept it and try to learn with it and flow with it. Your life will be a lot less stressful, or you can just pound your fist and in anger and realize that Indian's right behind them. They're going to do it. And Honda Goldwing. And it's just, that's what auto manufacturers are doing. So what I did is made that video. I just want to help bikers. And there's a lot to that thing. Software updates. I just put out a free video file for all that purchased. That's my commitment. I'll continue to do that. With that said, overall, I did a full video on it, and we just did a podcast on it. The video is already out on the YouTube channel. If you check it, it's my overall thoughts after I went under for 2 weeks, on the road, in the shop. I mean, I didn't want to miss anything because this video is so important to me. Is that, overall, I was very pleasantly surprised. It's super responsive. It's got a beautiful interface. Does it have a few glitches? Yes. Remember, it's a computer, guys. Just like your car, just like your laptop, just like your iPhone, just like your Android, every digital device, your TV, for God's sakes, they all are going to update, and they're all going to need software updates. A digital dash is no different. This shouldn't be shocking to anybody. They're all going to have glitches at some point. They're all going to have weak spots, and developers are going to code and do software updates to try to work those things out. But overall, I was not expecting it. After the boombox passed, and I talk extensively about that in that video on the last podcast we did, I'm still blown away. I told Lurch today, every time I get on and look at it, I'm very impressed. And at its overall out of the box capabilities. And again, for a digital, I'll tell you this, I've used a lot of digital dash systems and autos and bikes, and or digital systems, I should say, electronics, by far the best out of all cars I've tested and bikes. And so well done on that, Harley. The future is going to tell a lot of things, but right now, I wouldn't be afraid of it. There's a lot to it. Lurch found out. He watched my whole tutorial videos just to figure, and he said at first it's a lot, but my videos will get you through it, guys. So don't be afraid of that. Like I say, otherwise you're just not going to be riding a Harley anymore, or other manufacturers. You're just going to have to get out of motorcycling. Right. And I get it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say real quick, because there's been some questions in the chat about what's available for the bike and what you're doing. So you've got a list here. You're going to walk down some stuff, but I'm just taking notes from the folks that are asking.
Please,
putting
thank
them
you.
in there. So when we get to the end of the notes, we'll have their questions there.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. We appreciate that interaction. We're going to get to that in just a minute. So, moving on from the IFCU. Now I was going to say, and I know there are a lot of times that, we get the guys, and I get it. It's I just want to feel the motor and hear the motor and the wind in my ears, and I don't need no damn entertainment. God damn changing daisies. All right. Going off here. We get it, guys. You're tough. It's all right. No, I get it. I have a Dyna Lowrider S. I've got a KLR. I had a Night Train. I've got other bikes for bar hopping, if that's what you want to call them, for carving the canyon for 30 minutes, for running around town, for going and grabbing a beer or a burger. Great bikes, fun, not for touring. If you're going to tour like we do, 10 days, 4,000 miles, absolutely, to stay awake, for safety. Stereo. I don't listen to it every day, but when I need it, when I'm tired, when I'm nodding off on a motorcycle, it'll happen. If you haven't long distance toured, you don't know. But it's amazing how you can almost fall asleep on a motorcycle. So those things are safety issues, being able to check in with the family, emergencies, things like that. Don't knock it. You can always turn it off, like I do a lot of times, and just listen and just be at peace. But they're here. They're going to be on touring bikes. If you want to tour, get used to it, because you ain't changing it. All right. So we're done with that. Moving on. Milwaukee 117 CI in my 24 Street Glide. Obviously the Road Glide 2. I'm not going to knock, I'm not going to knock or break down whether you should get a, Road Glide ST or this. I did all that in my videos. I went down to Vegas, was lucky enough to go down when they first came out. I test rode and reviewed on this channel, the YouTube channel, the Road and Street Glide. On the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, I got to ride the Road Glide ST. Those videos got a ton of hits. They're both very informational. One is a buyer's guide on whether things you should consider, whether you want to buy the Road Glide CVO-ST or whether you want to buy the regular 117. There's a lot to take into considerations. Go watch those videos. I'm not going to rehash that here, but I'll tell you, going with the Street Glide with the 117, it's amazing. Such a smooth motor. Zero issues with it. I'm ripping on it. I'm breaking it in my style. Breaking in the clutch, breaking in the motor. It's amazing because I came from a 14 Street Glide, and although it's really smooth, that twin cam, I loved it. You knew when you were doing 90, right? Or 95, whatever.
On a closed track.
On a closed
under supervision.
Course, under direct supervision of Lurch. 100, I don't know. But you knew you were doing that. On this bike, I relate it to my Ford F-150. You don't really know that you're doing 95 and you look down and you're like, oh, oops. It's that smooth. It's amazing. And anybody, with newer non-twin cam, the Milwaukee 8s, it's similar. They haven't changed a lot in the feedback and all that. So don't think it's not knocking it's not a metric. It still feels like a Harley. We love metric bikes too. I don't care what bike you ride. We support them all, but the Harley has a certain feel, and don't worry about that. They haven't gotten rid of all that. It still feels like a Milwaukee 8. So if you're used to that, there's not going to be a huge change there. I do really appreciate the ride modes, the custom mode, especially on my Street Glide. And so I love, obviously, motorcycle officer and instructor, and I ride rather confidently and aggressively within my parameters. I'm still very safe. I'm trained a lot, and I'm very confident. And so the sport mode is great, but being able to set the parameters of the motor with the ride mode is really cool. So that custom mode, you're able to go into the IFCU, and my favorite mode that I've been riding is basically I went in and just maxed everything out. Engine braking, throttle response. It runs like a raped ape, but it's not going to be the smoothest ride because sometimes I'm just riding and I accidentally look over and I move the throttle a little bit and it yanks you because it's so responsive. But that's fun. Obviously, when I'm touring, ain't going to be in that mode. I want to kick back and relax, and I'm on some straight freeway for 50 frickin' miles, and gas mileage. So get this, guys. So I wanted to see how bad a gas mileage I could get. I know there's a lot of environmentalists on here right now, and you're mad at me and you wish you could strangle me through the camera, but you're probably not strong enough. Okay. I'm teasing. All right. If you're at work for EPA or something, we love you. But most guys are trying to get as good a gas mileage as they can get. That's their goal. Mine is to get as bad a gas mileage as I can. So ripping in that custom mode, riding it like I stole it, Lurch, I got her down to 30 miles a gallon. It was sweet,
I couldn't believe it when you told me that. I'm like, holy shit, how do you get that low?
Dude, God. I tried to do it the other day. I could only get it down to 31. I don't know how I got it to 30, and I was ripping it too.
God.
So obviously, if you're going to be riding in those modes, guys, and all maxed out like that, it's when I'm touring with the rest of the guys, I can't be doing that because I'd run out of gas before them. So I'm going to have to be in a more reasonable road mode or even sport mode. And if you're not ripping on it as much, obviously, you're going to get better gas mileage. But you get one custom mode. Some of the bikes have multiple custom ride modes, like the CVO-23s. I'm not sure that's necessary because there's only so many parameters you can change, and it's so easy to change them. But whatever. I mean, I'm just going to leave it. I don't think I would do is what I'm saying. Wouldn't use the other banks. I've got my most aggressive mode, and then I can back off in sport. I can back off in touring, and I can back off in rain mode. That's just kind of my take on that. But that's amazing, guys, because my other bike, my 23 police bike, doesn't have that. It doesn't even have the modes. So the modes alone are nice, but to have that custom mode and be able to let me adjust the bike the way I want it is amazing, and well worth it if you get a 24 to have that. So, all right, jump in anytime you want, Lurch.
Okay.
I'm going to do a lot of talking. Well, I don't know if any of these questions are fitting for right now. If not, I'll trust that you'll throw them in.
I'll ask this one. Are the oil changes still done the same way, or is there anything new about it?
No. So our videos will still work. It's still a Milwaukee 8, nothing different. It's just a, couple cubic inches, 3 cubic inches bigger. Nothing's changed. So If you have it over to lawabidingbiker.com/buy videos, that's where all our premium for purchase tutorial videos are. Obviously, 95% of our crap is free. Our awesome videos, I should say, on YouTube.
Way to sell it. Most of our crap is for free.
On YouTube, but that's where our premium videos reside. We have one for the twin cam, and then we also have one for the Milwaukee 8 when it came out. So good question. No changes. The only thing, we're going to add an additional video file to it because it's water cooled, and you got to check the radiator fluid, but that's pretty self-explanatory if you have any mechanical ability. But we have beginners that have never had a Harley buy our videos too. So we like to throw that in there because that's new to somebody. Mm-hmm. So that's really the only difference is you have a radiator, and obviously every so often that's going to need to be flushed I don't know what the parameters are, but I wouldn't do it very often. But like a car, you might want to flush it at 6-7 years down the road or 5 years, whatever. So we may do that, but no, good question. Anything else?
Not yet. Keep going.
Okay. So newly designed control clusters. And like I said up front, humans don't like change.
No.
I get it. I'm not exempt to that. I just have learned over the years to try to be more open and realize that you can get as mad as you want. It's not going to change anything, and it's going to cause you a lot more stress and when you could be focusing on other things. With that said, when things change, there's a learning curve. Just think about your smartphone, iPhone. They changed the user interface with iOS 17, or when they came out with the big changes where instead of the home button, you swipe up to find you had to do that no, that wasn't you. Somebody came from an iPhone 8 and they didn't know the new gestures. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to frustrate anybody. We're creatures of habit and we don't like being uncomfortable. We don't want to know everything.
Even moving from like my 06, not even 06, my 08 Street Glide to then the 15 Road Glide, where now you got the Boombox GT, you've got extra toggles and buttons on it. It took a little bit of time.
Yep.
And this will take some time too. It's definitely their controls are busier. There's more buttons on them.
Yeah, very true.
But with time and practice, you get used to knowing where everything's at, and you'll get to a point where you don't even have to look down anymore. You can just reach forward and grab the right button.
Well, the whole time you're being mad, you could just be working on that.
Yeah.
So I will say this. With that said, if you get over the madness factor that you're going to have to learn a little something new, I will tell you now that I've used them, it actually makes way more sense, and it's way better than the old system. You just have to accept it. The way they laid it out is it just makes more sense. It's a better user experience. The pads are nice. There's multiple ways you can either toggle or you can use the pads. You can use your thumb to flick the switches, or there was a lot of thought. We talked to engineers about it. I was surprised at how much thought that I started using them down there when I was test riding bikes in Vegas. I didn't even realize because there's so much to go over. And they're like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, dude, like I wouldn't have known that. Like that's brilliant. Like you can tell that wasn't just slapped together. And I will tell you, it's way better. It makes more sense. You'll love it once you get used to it. My issue, which is funny, is I ride a 23 police bike and then this. So I got off my police bike and went to take this on a day off. I'm like, oh, and I was the wrong fat buttons. Finger and stuff. Sure. So, but that's my issue. That's not a design issue at all. And I tell you, if you're open-minded and you look at them, you'll realize why they set it up the way they did and just how much it makes more sense. So I like them. But yeah, I still, like I say, I'm fumbling stuff because I am switching between bikes too. So that's less than helpful on learning new control clusters. All right, boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here.
We had a question.
Go ahead.
I don't know how deep you're going to go into it, but just the clutch. What's the difference in the clutch pull from your 2014 to your 2024? I know you're going from hydraulic to cable, but what do you think about the clutch pull,
dude?
It was a question. It was in the
Lurch
chat.
knows exactly what he's doing.
I had to ask you.
You know exactly what you're doing. You're taunting me, bro.
You love it, right? You love the new clutch?
Shut it. I'm going to come back to that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to calm down a little bit while Lurch does this, and then
you'll hit that.
And because if I just go right now,
you might go on a rant.
I'm going to go on a rant and say something that I'll regret. So, all right. I've learned in my old age, dude.
Hey, bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. There's no modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team of riders with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@zero3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out Zero 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to the law-abiding biker store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products.
All right. I'm teasing as I'm not going to get too deep in this. We got so much to talk about, and I've talked about this in past episodes, but
I think you can hit the highlights.
I'll hit the highlights. So, yes, it is. In 21, we all know Harley switched back to the cable clutch. Yes, Indian has it too. These are premium bikes, absolutely 100%. They should not have cable clutches. They should have hydraulic systems. It's superior. It's more robust. A couple cases in point, a cable clutch, you've got an internal adjustment and an external adjustment. And we just did a video on this today. I can't get into it because we're not going to go there. It's coming out soon. It's great if you are going to keep the cable clutch. But so cable clutch, internal, external, always got to be fiddling with them, especially if you're a rider that trains a lot on courses, police motor officer, instructor. You're always dicking around with cable clutches, and you can jump on 4 street glides, 24s, and they're all going to feel different because the freaking clutch has been worn different and the lever's in a different spot and this and that and the other thing. It's time consuming and it's old technology. Dirt bikes have hydraulic clutches, for God's sakes. Mountain bikes have this is ridiculous. It's one of my biggest complaints that Harley did. And I'm not afraid to obviously say that. So hydraulic clutch, no adjustment for the life of the clutch, no internal, no external. Set it, ride it. You don't have to set it. Just forget it. All right. Ride it and forget it. When it goes out, it'll eventually just go out. And I can jump on 4 different 24 or whatever. Let's go back to 20 or whatever models had hydraulics. I can get on 4 ones of those, like our police bike fleet. They all are exactly the same. So one bike goes down, grab another one, right back where I was. It's just a consistent pull. It's easier on your hand. It's less fatiguing. The friction zone's in the same place. And a lot of guys say, and I can ride a cable clutch. I rode a police cable clutch for years. So I can tell you, I can argue this all day with guys.
Which is why I brought it up.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. You know exactly what you're doing. But no, and it's a good topic. It's a good topic because it matters. But a lot of guys will say, oh, I like the cable clutch. You can ride a course, but no, you can't. No, you can't. No, I can ride a cable clutch just as well as I can ride hydraulic. It's just hydraulic is less fatiguing. And again, I don't have to dick with it all the time. It's always where I want it to be. And some guys will say, well, I can fine adjust exactly where I want my handle. Okay, that's old news because I just run an aftermarket lever, and we have them right in the law-abiding biker store, or they're coming soon, right?
Coming soon, shortly.
Coming very soon, shortly. And that's a PSR. It's simple to swap out, and it gives you adjustment, so I can put my handle on my hydraulic system where I want it because of hand fatigue. If it's way out, depending on the size of your hands, especially when I'm riding all day, training, if it's way out, it's hard for me and my hand will cramp. So if I can get in a little bit, that's all rider preference. Easy to overcome. There is no advantage, 0 advantage to a cable clutch. That's a cost savings, obviously, for a manufacturer. Indian's doing it. Don't agree with them either. I test rode the Pursuit, great bike, but not a fan of that. So yes, this is coming with a cable clutch. And we've got a video, though, if you are going to keep that. I know a lot of you are. There is one mandatory product that you're going to have to put on it, and I'll tell you why in the video. It'll be out in the next week. So get subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you turn on notifications, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. It's going to be an awesome video. We just filmed it today. With that said, anything else on the hydraulic. There is an adjuster on it, but it doesn't give you fine-tune adjustment.
Manual automatic.
Manual automatic. And our video will show you how to deal with that too, coming out in a week. So anyways, enough said about that. Everybody likes their own thing, but I'm telling you, I'm not just a part-time rider. I've ridden for so many years and instructed, and I've tested all these different systems. That's just, you can have a different opinion than me. It's fine. Hopefully it's based on actually riding courses and doing, training and that kind of thing. So, all right, there's my rant. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I stayed pretty factual on it. So, all right. So moving on down. Okay. All right. So here's some of the first things I did, guys. I've done a lot of things, which we're going to talk about, but straight out of the gate, probably within the first 2 weeks. All right. These are products we carry in our store, and whether we put them in our store, I bought these long before we carried them in our store. We've already talked about it. Did we talk about that up front? The Urlacher brake lever?
Yes.
So we're not going to go over that. Other than the reason I did a video on it, it's on the channel, guys, why that's a safety issue, why it's an ergonomics issue. Once you have one of these, you will never go back to a stock brake pedal. They're horrible. My leg cramps, it's in the wrong spot. I'm 5'8", and it's too short for me. Our Urlacher flattens it, extends it out. Emergency braking, the stock one, my toe's under it, so I have to get my toe out from under it. I practice emergency 40-mile-an-hour braking all the time. Got to get it out, get it up on there. When I'm doing bar lock, turns, and coursework, trying to get my leg turned in on that, it literally just hurts your inner thigh. So I don't know why they do it that way. Urlacher extended brake lever, that's why we can't keep them in stock, because once a guy uses it, you can't go back. It's horrid when I get on a stock bike. So those are in the store. I did that. Urlacher, we'll show you how to do that. Any of the products we talk about, guys, on our podcast, whenever we actually install them on a bike, if you go to the listing on our store, the YouTube video is embedded right there on the listing, and it's a complete, detailed, completely free install tutorial video, so you don't have to pay a shop. All you got to do is get the part from us. Guarantee with our videos, you can install it yourself. We have a lot of those videos, so always check the bottom of our product listings for a video. And if it's not there, we'll be doing it soon. All right, we got a long list of videos. Shift linkage. Is that what we talked about up front?
Yep.
No, it wasn't the brake pedal. I asked you.
You've already done both of them.
Oh, did we? Okay. Yes. So yeah, shift linkage. Don't need to rehash that. That got changed. Of course, the cockpit has to be set up for me. These were actually the first 4 things out of these that I did because they're easy. But automatically, a biker gripper cell phone mount went up on my right perch mount. I went with chrome for my chrome model for my bike. I got to have my cell phone up there. Even though the IFC is there and you have Apple CarPlay, there's still a lot of things, especially when traveling cross country, that the phone is just faster for. So in the biker gripper, I can see it. I can easily do something if I need to do it real quick. The IFC is great, but you still need a phone up there, guaranteed. Especially when we're stopped and I'm just trying to find a restaurant real quick where we're trying to go to. Hey, this restaurant looks good, whatever. There's just a lot. My phone up on that is just, it's mandatory. Biker grippers, perch mount. Obviously, we've got universal mounts, black and chrome, all over in the Law Abiding Biker store. We always have those in stock. We keep a lot of those because we move them so fast. It is the #1 sexiest, sleekest cell phone motorcycle mount in the market, guys, on the market. Guaranteed, tried and tested for like 10 plus years now by us. So, and then in the cockpit, I put my awesome Zero 3D cup holder, beverage on long distance trips. I got to stay hydrated. I got to keep my caffeine in me. Again, safety issues. Don't get dehydrated on those hot days, 110 riding, whatever. You get dehydrated quick. Have water, have a beverage. In the mornings to get me going, I got to have my coffee up there. So Urlacher and Zero 3D cup holders. We've got those in stock ready to go for you guys. My biker bobble girl in the cockpit with her little bouncing boobies on a spring. It's the biker bobble girl. Search it over in the store. She keeps me awake too. Safety issue because I giggle when I get bored every time I look over there, and she's a vibrate. And I will say this. I told Lurch this. On my twin cam on my 14 Street Glide Special, her boobies bounced a lot more because that bike shakes a lot more. The Milwaukee 8117, I got to give her a few thunder revs to get them to bounce real good. Just idle. It's such a smooth bike. Only disappointment is they just don't shake as much. I might loosen the springs in them, Lurch. Can we make a mod?
Yeah, we can see if we can get them to bounce easier.
That's what I'm saying. I want a little more bounce in them, dude. All right. Anyways, so one of the questions was what kind of parts. So those are some of the quick things that I put on it. Cause obviously we had them already in stock in our store and I just threw them on. Oh, I'm going to back up real quick on the cable clutch. I'm not done. All right. Anyways, I am done. It's not a rant, but so this bike, guys, I don't like the cable clutch system. It is going to get a full conversion to hydraulic. We did that with our 23 police bikes because they came with it. First thing we did, converted them to hydraulic system. Now, with that said, this is a brand new bike and even dealerships and technicians are uncertain on exact parts and what's available. We're looking at an aftermarket option to sell in our store and we're looking at OEM parts. It's going to take a little while to compile this. I want to make sure when we do that video for the YouTube channel or number one, that it's correct. And number two, we do an install video. We want to make sure we have all the parts on hand and the correct parts. And then number two, if we do an aftermarket option, it has to be something that I trust and recommend. So I would need some test time with it before we would say, yes, here's an install video and here's the kit that I bought and here's what I recommend. And I've tested it on the road. I've tested it on the course. You guys know that's how we are here. We don't just like throw crap around hoping. Those are big things. They're big expenditures. Probably we're guessing at around 1,000, maybe a little under aftermarket and a little over for OEM. That was pretty common with the 23s. It was like $1,100 or $1,200 for parts. And then we're going to get you the labor free because we're going to show you how to do it. Free video on YouTube for that, guys. But look forward to that because I know the dealership mechanics actually, I was talking to, he's actually asking me because he knows I have connections and within Harley, and I'm hoping to get a hold of some point. I haven't had time of an engineer to find out to make sure that the same parts, a lot of them are the same parts. And we just want to be really thorough on that. So as soon as I find out, I'm actually telling our dealership technician because he can't get the information either. That video is coming. So I know that's exciting because he's getting asked, like he goes, Ryan, he called me. I'm getting asked all the time. Have you found anything out? I'm like, I haven't. He goes, customers don't want the cable. They want hydraulic and they're asking me to convert it and I don't have. So we're working on it. Just understand that. So that's something to look forward to. Until then, I'll run the cable clutch, whatever. Not a big deal. Like I say, I can ride them the same. I'll just have to make the proper adjustments. But all right. So there are not a lot when you're talking about exhaust headers. You want to talk about that? I've been talking a lot about the redesign and why we don't have headers and why we're getting Harley compared to OEM. Talk about aftermarket, that whole, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The thing is, anytime a new model comes out, there's going to be some lag time.
More than just a new model, like 22 fits 23, okay, but yeah, sure, right?
Whatever.
This is huge.
It's a big change. What I'm trying to say is anytime a new model comes out, there's going to be lag time. And when there's big changes, design changes, it takes the aftermarket world a little while to catch up. You know, an example is when I bought my 2015 Road Glide, it was a redesign of the Road Glide. And it took me, I think, almost a year probably before I can get some bars for it. So there's going to be some lag time with these 24s, even though the 23s came out. And we all assumed that they were taking the design from the 23 CVOs into the regular touring model. Nobody knew for sure. So they had to wait till they came out. And we've talked in past podcasts. Wouldn't it be nice if Harley could share the data with the aftermarket world so that they could start building stuff? But the truth is, Harley wants to capitalize on this brand new design because right now they're the only ones that have most of the parts for it. So, and
any manufacturer would do this, car or motorcycle.
Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't behoove them to share that information with with aftermarket manufacturers. So aftermarket manufacturers have to get these bikes in their hands. They have to 3D scan them and start tearing them apart and figuring out what fits and what doesn't fit. So there's not a whole lot of aftermarket stuff available. Obviously slip-ons, you can get your hands on slip-ons pretty easy, but headers right now, there's nothing for headers because there's a change in the timing cover on this bike, and they rerouted the pipe a little bit different direction. So the aftermarket header manufacturers need to redesign it. Another question we had in the chat was, what about windshields, windscreens? Yeah, there's not a lot available right now that isn't Harley. although Clockworks is working on it, and there's other manufacturers.
We sell F4 Custom and Clockworks in the store, and I'm sure they're both working.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak
that
specifically for F4, but I know Clockworks is working on. In fact, they've come out just now. You can only get it through them at the moment. They're not selling it through distributors, so eventually we'll be able to get our hands on it. But right now through Clockworks, you can get a windscreen for the Road Glide. They designed that one first because Road Glides kick ass and they're better. So that they went to number 2.
They know that all the Road Glide guys are so soft they would cry if they didn't have a windshield right away. So they're trying to serve your feelings.
So they're working. So
here we go.
So they're working on a windscreen for and they're good looking windscreens. I was just looking at the one for the Road Glide, but right now a lot of the stuff that we have on it is Harley stuff. And in all transparency, quite a bit of it was sent to us from Harley to do reviews on. So at some point, we may switch that Harley stuff out when after stuff comes.
But that's what we've always done. Mm-hmm. It's not that we don't like Harley stuff. It's what we do on this channel. Like I have to test new intakes and test new exhaust. It's not because I don't like the OEM Harley stuff. It's quality stuff, guys. Let me tell you, I got my hands on it. And so a lot of the stuff that's going to be coming on the channel here in the near future is going to be all Harley OEM stuff. And I can tell you by far, I'm not joking, guys. I'm not just saying this. It's expensive stuff, but it's really good quality. Like I haven't found anything, which we're going to talk about, that would lead me that I wouldn't buy it. I'm just not I like to make my bike different. I don't want all Harley stuff. And oftentimes there's better stuff, even better stuff aftermarket. We all know that. So although I do like this stuff, it doesn't matter even if everybody had everything right now, I'm always switching. We got to do that. That's this channel. We sell a lot of stuff on our store, and a lot of it I want to test and I want to see it on a bike. And so we end up taking my bike apart like 3,000 times, like my 14N years.
Yeah.
We end up, and other guys in the club, or around Law Abiding Biker Media, I should say.
We put stuff on, we take it off to test it.
Yep. Yeah. That's what we do for you guys. So, so you are going to see, there are a lot of guys out there that love that's what they want, all OEM Harley. So you're going to get a lot of videos, but it looks cool. And for OEM, it's pretty amazing stuff. So with that said, Andy Cohen laughs. We were talking about clutches. He said, Lurch, you can blame me for this, LOL. I only asked because I watched the video on the install on the AIM Slave as I had a distal bicep surgery on my left arm. That's a great reason to get that system, Andy, and I appreciate you saying that. So to capitalize on that a little more, because I'm not done with clutches. No, the AIM is, we do sell that, and that's a great system. AIM right now, we've been busy. We're trying to get hold of our AIM contacts because they claim it's kind of convoluted information that they have something for the 24, but we need to triple verify. Yeah. I need to talk to them. The problem is the clutch handle, and because there's electronics and the electronics are different and it needs to activate that. And there's just some still things up in the air. It's not, companies have put out stuff. Funny thing is, we're going to talk Fuel Pack 4. It is not, I'll talk about that more in a minute, ready for 2024s, and it won't tune them. But yet there's some sites that are claiming it's for 24. So we like to be a little more diligent than your other online guys, because we're bikers like you, and we don't want to give you wrong information. Not that we're always 100% correct. We do our best. But with that said, so video coming out, I got a Screaming Eagle intake. What we really wanted to do, Lurch and I, when we're talking to Harley, is I think, a lot of guys are going to want to make this look somewhat like an ST, a Road Glide ST, even though it's a Street Glide, but some of the ST parts. So that's kind of what we went for. So we got a Screaming Eagle 90-degree heavy breather extreme in black, which really pops on my chrome. I'm kind of doing that on this bike. I love chrome, but if you can mix just a little black with it, then it pops if you do it right and in the right areas. And I really feel like this nailed it. That thing is a beautiful piece of equipment. It in your hands, it's solid. You guys know what that looks like. It's the 90-degree out, heavy breather, amazing. Really helps that motor breathe and make it come alive. So that video will be coming out, complete install tutorial on that. And then With that, I needed exhaust. So one of the things is, I was talking and chatting. Did you talk about the pipes are redesigned?
Yeah.
Okay. So headers, you can't get headers, not even from Harley, like Lurch said. But
you can get slip-ons.
You can get slip-on mufflers. So I did take my headers off and had just a little surgery done to them. Enough said. And they're back on the bike. And we went with Screaming Eagle High Flow Titanium with carbon fiber end caps. So this heavy breather is what you see on the Road Glide ST. These pipes are what's on the King of the Baggers inspired Road Glide ST.
The exhaust, yeah.
The slip-on, sorry. So we put those on. And if you're not aware, if you're new to the channel or you haven't worked on Harleys, as you do that, you absolutely need to retune your EFI. And you could actually do damage to the bike if you don't. With modifications like that, it needs to run different. The EFI is going to act different. So
yeah, if you open up your intake and your exhaust and you're going to start running lean, you need more fuel to compensate for that air. And if you don't adjust it, your bike's going to run lean, it's going to run hot, and there's a good chance you could do damage to your motor.
Yep. So you got two options. You can recalibrate your ECM, run down to the dealership, pay them several $100s plus labor, and they'll throw a CAN map in it. And if you ever make any changes, you can go back and pay them another $200 or $300. We never do that. Wouldn't recommend it. We tune it with a Vance & Hines Fuel Pack 4. All right. We have a very popular video on this channel. Shows you exactly how to do that. However, as previously mentioned, we can't get aftermarket stuff that much. So I actually tried to tune it with an FP4. Then I got in touch with my contacts at V&H and talked to them. And they're like, yeah, it's not ready for a 24. I said, yeah, I realize that. That's why I'm calling you. And what are we looking at here? Well, the ECM, they can't crack the ECM yet. It's a much more complicated ECM. There's a lot more electronics in this bike. They hope sometimes this year. We are selling the FP4 for pre-24 models. We don't have one for 24. As soon as it's available, we'll notify you. We'll do a video and we'll put it out because I'm going to tune my bike with that. It's just a lot more versatile than the regular Harley Screaming Eagle Pro Street tuner.
Better user interface.
Better user interface, works better. You have more options, more aftermarket stuff. You're really stuck in the Harley ecosystem only with the Screaming Eagle, but it's a great tuner if that's all you're going to do. So I did have one of those, a Screaming Eagle Pro Street tuner. So I threw that on, and we had tuned our police bikes with that too. It's not our first experience with it. Those videos will be coming out too. We're going to do a Screaming Eagle tuning video, but tuned it, threw a CAN map in it. I opened it up to an auto tune right now. I'm going to ride around this weekend and really auto tune it in. Did great as far as that. Just it's glitchy. There's a lot to that Screaming Eagle Pro Street tuner. The FP4 by far a better option. But so I got it tuned out and it's running frickin' like a raped ape. And it sounds great. The exhaust sounds great. Obviously, I'm going to test other exhaust in the future as soon as Vance & Hines catches up and all that. But it's a great, if you're into that, they're great mufflers and you wouldn't be disappointed. And the carbon fiber tips and the black, again, it goes chrome headers and then it goes into the black mufflers. And Lurch wasn't sure because he knew I was putting them on. Then he came over, he looked, he goes, yeah, it actually
wasn't sure what the combo would look like.
Right.
Going chrome into the black.
I didn't either for reals, you know.
Yeah. It turned out well. And with those in particular, because you have the titanium straps on there, it kind of just ties it all in. Plus,
yeah,
you got
you said
black,
that.
You got the black. You got a mixture of black and chrome through there, and it just kind of flows down the bike. I think it looks pretty good, actually.
Right. Yeah, well, I think it turned out good, and there'll be lots of shots in the videos, guys. So, yeah, the other thing is, like Lurch talked about, windshields. I went with right now. Trust me, once Clockworks and F4 Custom catch up, I'll be putting one or both of those on. But I went with the wind splitter 8-inch light smoked. I will tell you with that, guys, if you go, the regular stock windshield is 5 inches. Obviously, if you're going to tour, you're not going to be running that stock one, guys.
I wouldn't even call it
I don't even know what it is. It's for looks.
The windscreen. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the screen that came on my Road Glide when I bought it. It's just this tiny little thing and didn't do shit. The wind just hit me right in the nose. It was horrible. Couldn't even hear the speakers on the thing.
Right.
That's what that one kind of reminds me of. So I would say if you get a 2024, either model, Road Glide or Street Glide, you're definitely going to want to upgrade your windscreen.
Yep, for sure. Yep, every touring guy knows right away. Yep,
Yeah.
windshield.
It looks cool around town, but if you're out on the open road in the weather, you're going to want a little more.
Yep. And Todd Cooley in the chat says, any pictures? Yeah, head over to Instagram, follow Law Abiding Biker. There's tons of pictures and videos over there. We're always putting up shorts. That's where I do. There's a lot of stuff. If you're not on Instagram, guys, following us, you need to get over there because we show a lot of behind the scenes and this kind of stuff. And I did a short on the intake and always cranking out stuff over there. YouTube's huge. It's our biggest platform, but obviously we're blowing it up over on Instagram. So get over there again at Law Abiding Biker. We're on the Tickety Talk too. If you're, I don't know how old you are, Todd, but we're on the Tickety Talk too, but there's definitely Instagram for all that kind of stuff. Aside from long form videos, we're on Instagram. All right. So Facebook too. But yeah, we like the Instagram. So with that said, I did obviously touring. I did 4-point docking hardware. It's changed just a little bit, the way you install it, but not a huge change. And I did rider backrest docking hardware. So I could put my rider backrest and the passenger backrest for tying my film backpack to, and then a rack for putting my beloved Rick Rack Quick Detach luggage system on there that I've run for many years and we sell in our store. I got to have the rack so that it can clamp down to that. All right. We're going to talk about some other things and some mods coming right after Lurch does this.
Ride longer and treat your ass with respect already.
Oh, my ass.
Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin, hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured.
Oh, I don't want my ass leaking.
The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat, fits all motorcycles and stalls in seconds, easily cleans, and helps dampen those damn vibrations. With plenty of miles to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head on over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
He couldn't hold it last episode. You held it.
I didn't look at you this time.
I was trying to.
That's usually what makes me laugh because you have such a dumbass look on your face when you're over there. You're just so proud of yourself.
I know, dude. Oh, yeah, the butt buffer, guys. That went on right away. No doubt about it. All right, getting back into this. So, as you can see, it's been very busy. I have multiple hard drives of videos that we've shot. I just needed to get it done. Why so fast? Well, we're going on a trip in June, East Coast for like 12, 13 days. And we're going to do a lot of riding, and I wanted the bike really set up. So we're going to talk a little bit about, so the other thing that we're going to be doing to it, actually, we're going to shoot this video on Monday. We got prepped for it before this live podcast. We got all the parts laid out, and that is a Harley-Davidson audio powered by Rockford Fosgate Stage 2 4-speaker system. So I'm going to have fairing and saddlebag speakers. We got the lids color matched with the cutouts. We're ready for that. We have a lot of aftermarket audio system installs, our premium videos, obviously over at lawabidingbiker.com/buy videos. So we've got a lot of those already. We have done a Rockford. We did that on Lurch's Road Glide, a Rockford system with the woofers and everything in the saddlebag. So we've got a lot of information over there on that page for you guys. If you're interested and don't have a dealership do it, trust me, you can do it. You'll save yourself a lot of money. But again, aftermarket companies are going to catch up here and figure out their mount amp plate systems. And I assume Lurch, like the boombox, they're going to have to figure out how to make sure it works with the IFCU, right? Because the old boombox, you had to flash some systems and some tried to get around it, like J&M, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to take a little time, right? Are you aware whether they have any systems for?
I don't believe there's anything yet. Don't quote me on that, but with this Rockford Fosgate, powered by Harley-Davidson Audio, they're co-branded. The new IFCU, you don't need to flash. We'll just be able to plug in the amp, the speakers, and configure it all right there from the IFCU. So I don't know what
they're going to have to work around.
I don't know what they're going to do to make that work like that with aftermarket. Yep. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think just like FP4, Advanced Science has got a hurdle to get over. I think the aftermarket stereo companies are going to have a hurdle.
Yep. And we do sell some stereo systems in the Law Abiding Biker store. We'll be adding as they're available for the 24. And you better believe when regular non-Harley branded Rockford comes out, and or J&M, Boss Audio, all those companies that we did videos on over the years, we'll be doing, just because that's what we do. Like we said, I'll be pulling this system and putting one of those in just to test it and all that. But for now, it's an awesome system. I love Lurch's system. They sound great, guys. So don't get me wrong. The Harley audio powered by Rocket Frostgate is amazing, and I'm very blessed that I get to put it in this bike. So we'll be installing that on Monday.
Big upgrade from the boom stuff in the past. This is made by Rockford for Harley-Davidson.
Yes.
They make it together. It's a much more superior product than the Harley Boom audio was. The Harley Boom was, I don't even know who made that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was not great.
No.
So big improvement. But yeah, we're definitely hoping that the aftermarket guys come up with something, and we'll put it in your bike. And if not, I got one coming in the near future. We'll need to put something in, and as friends and family around here get them, we'll have opportunities there too. Yep.
Well said. With that said, the stock system, guys, it's a stock system. It's subpar. It sounds fine if you can hear it. When stopped or in town, you can hear it. It's clean all the way up to top volume. But as you would expect, just like cars, if you want my truck, I put 2 10s and an amplifier in it. I mean, if you want extra, you're going to have to, that's just the way it is. So it's not a crappy system. It's what you would expect for a stock motorcycle system. And it has to be replaced, in my opinion. On long distance trips, oftentimes I listen to my headset because you're going all day and you're in the wind. But around here, even on the freeway, I want to rock out with my speakers and get that full sound, because the headsets, they only sound so good, right? So I like to have both options, but in my opinion, a must change at some point. And we'll be doing that right here on the channel for you guys. So we have on order, we're waiting for these Adversary heated grips. We have our very popular heated grips install video, and we're going to, whatever changes there are on this, we'll be adding an update file to that video, or maybe a new video. We're not sure, because we're not sure what's all involved. In fact, the dealership technician is asking me, because we're going to do it before him, he thinks, because we're going to get him before him to find out what I learn and how they connect and all that. So don't worry, we got your back. I got to have my heated grips. There is no heated seat right now. So I just went with a sundowner from Harley, and I'll be testing that as soon as a heated seat comes out. That is one thing. I love my heated Harley hammock. I don't buy all OEM stuff, but the heated grips are one. There's nothing better than the stock Harley heated grips, and their heated seat is amazing. So those are some of the 2 things that I stick with on that. But there's a lot of other seats if you don't want a heated seat. But the sundowner, haven't tested it yet. It's on the bike. It's when I'm going to be running to the East Coast, so I'll let you know, but it will have a butt buffer on it, I guarantee, to get rid of those pressure points. So those are still on order, so we're waiting for those. I've got a saddlebag tip over set, the flat bars like you guys see on the Road Glide ST. Looks like it has little skateboard wheels on the end. They're really cool looking, black. That'll pop on the chrome, especially with the Whiskey Fire. So those are on order. Those are coming. We got some stuff, Lurch said, from Hardy, but I bought a bunch of stuff too. So don't get me wrong. A lot of stuff I'm telling you that I bought all this. So just because we want to do videos on it, and I kind of want to deck the bike out right now. And so flat out bars. What else? Yeah. So Cardos, guys, we talk about it in my IFCU podcast and video. The IFCU, I know Senna for years. I've got 3 of them. I've got parts everywhere. That's what we ran with the boombox. Pack them up, put them in a bag. You're done with them. If you're going to get an IFCU, because it was designed, the ecosystem was designed specifically for Cardo. And we sell Cardo Pack Talk edges and other Cardos in the Law Abiding Biker store. I was down there this morning. We've got a ton in stock. If you want to get it from us, we appreciate it. We're just trying to help as many bikers as we can worldwide. There is a Harley branded Cardo Pack Talk edge, but I've been using the non-branded, and it works just fine with the system. So you don't have to get the branded one, guys. You can just get a regular Cardo Pack Talk edge from us, and it pairs. It's actually what I used in my tutorial video I show you. But with that said, yeah, Senna's out the door, guys. That's not reverse compatible, and the Cardo is not reverse compatible, and the Senna's not forward compatible. They switched. It just is what it is. Deal with it. You're going to have to go Cardo. I actually like the Cardo system. It's fine. I'm having a good experience with it. Now, the Senna and other manufactured headsets you might get lucky and get them to pair, but they're going to not work, and not all the functions are going to work, and you might get mono sound. It's going to be a horrible experience. I have a plethora of emails and other guys that are associated with law-abiding biker media texting me saying, yeah, I tried my Santa. It's horrible. This doesn't work. It's just, if you want to have a pain-free life, then you're just going to have to switch to Cardo when you decide to upgrade to one of these touring models with the IFCU. All right. We're winding it down here. Let's finish up. Those are the mods coming. Anything else?
The last question that we hadn't got to is from Gary Jackson. Says, old school question, but is there a USB port or connector to plug in a phone or thumb drive with music? I ride in areas where there is zero data or cell service.
Yes. So good question. A couple prongs to that. So yes, in the media drawer that's beautiful on the Street Glide that slides out, very controlled. They've switched to USB Type-C from the older USB Type-A, which I love because USB Type-A needs to go away. It needs to be out of my life. So it is USB-C, which if you don't know what that is, it's the smaller iPhone 15 Pro Max switch to it. Everybody's kind of moving that way. A lot of devices take the USB-C now, a lot of my camera equipment. So that, and then in the Road Glide, it's in the right drawer. There's a USB-C connection there. I have, but I don't actually hook my phone up. Apple CarPlay on the IFCU, wireless. All right. And so you don't need, like my truck, you don't even have to, you used to have to plug it in with the boombox. You still do with the boombox, but now you can do it wirelessly. So I don't, unless I need to charge, I don't need to plug. I just run my phone up in the biker gripper. To your question about plugging a memory stick in with music, I don't know. We're going to test that right after this, and we know your contact information. I promise we'll just go plug. We have music on a USB, test music for systems, and we'll try to plug it in and see what happens. And we'll get back to you on that, Gary. My gut is no, but I don't know that for a fact. I don't know how we'll read that. If anybody knows in the chat or you've tried it, let us know. That would be helpful. But with that said, Gary, I don't know. Here's what I do. I have iTunes Music on my iPhone, and I know Android, you can get I don't know if they have Google.
I don't know if they have, but you can download from
Spotify or whatever. But yeah, get a service, whatever device you have. I just download all my favorite music.
Yeah.
I have got a 1 terabyte phone anyways, but, cause we do video on it, but just download your music so you don't have to rely on a cell signal. You like iTunes has a download button, and you can download a whole album. And then I just keep those on there. I don't download every single, but all my favorite stuff that I like listen to on the road, then I don't need a cell signal because it's actually stored on my device and I can play it. Same with podcasts. Hit your podcast before you go on a trip, download the ones you want to listen to, force download them. They're on your phone. You don't need a cell signal. So and I'm sure Gary knows that. Maybe he's got a smaller phone that doesn't have a lot of capacity or whatever, but music doesn't take up that much. It's so compressed these days. So that's an option, but it is a good question. I love questions like that, Gary, because I didn't think of it because I just, me personally, I don't listen to music that way, but I can see how some guys might want to do that. So we will find out for you. What else, Lurch? We got any questions coming up as we
I don't think so.
Roll it out?
Yeah, about time. I got to go pick up my truck.
Yeah, we do. We got to get your truck. So
yeah.
we do have just a few minor things that we wanted to finish here, and then we will see about taking it. I do appreciate everybody being in the chat. It's been a great episode. So, we love our patron members. We want you to become a patron member. The reason is we want to get you benefits, and we want to get to know you better in the private Facebook group and become part of the tighter law-abiding biker community. And think about that. But hey, if the only way you want to support us is through a flat donation, we never balk at a flat donation. We want to thank some of the following people for their flat donation.
We'd like to thank Chris Cole, Annalito Ferrio of Marathon, Florida, and Michael Land of Livingston, Texas.
And Bill McCrarier of Butler, Pennsylvania, John Calicott of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Justin Parnell of Attica, Indiana. lawabidingbiker.com/donate is how they left a flat donation. It helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank.
So we can keep this thing running on down the road.
And also some of those donations, believe it or not, we are just humbled every day by the support of the law-abiding biker community and what we've built and what you've helped us build here, is that not only do people shop in our store, but when they shop and they buy something, there's an ability to leave a tip. They're literally leaving tips, which we log as a donation, and we like to announce them too right here on the Law Abiding Biker podcast. So remember, these live videos are not open to the public YouTube like they are right now. We do a ton of stuff for the public, but these are reserved to behind the curtain. And we really like to connect and get a tighter bond with our patron members because we appreciate them so much for helping us financially. So 95% of those throughout the year are just like this, but we get to chat. We get to have a fun time. You get to see it months before everybody else. You get to listen to it first. So yeah, but we do like to throw it out there once in a while. We do appreciate all the regular people that follow us checking in aside from the patron members that are in there. And with that said, we're going to take it out of here, but Lurch has probably got something up his sleeve or in his pants near his nutsack that he's going to pull out.
Well, let's do the Amazon because we haven't done that one for a while.
Oh,
I love it because it really is no effort on your part, you out there listening. Just next time you go to Amazon, just click through lawabidingbiker.com/Amazon, and that'll take you straight through to Amazon. Bookmark that bad boy and save it. And every time you go to Amazon, you click through that, and it puts a little code in there. No big deal. You get the same price on everything, but it's a link for us, and we get a little taste of everything that you purchase. So if you can't afford to be a patron or give us a donation, it's an easy way to help support us so we can keep this thing going on down the road at no cost to you.
Doesn't matter if you buy, on Amazon, if lawabidingbiker.com/Amazon, once you link that, doesn't matter if you go there like Lurch on a Friday night and you buy pink panties for yourself.
Why not? Why wouldn't I?
I mean, yeah, or you're looking for, I don't know what else Lurch shops for, like wiener schlicker or something, some lube. I don't know, dude. What you could just
what? Schlicker?
I think that's a brand, wiener schlicker. I'm pretty sure
that's a German brand. Of
that would
lube.
be Wiener schlicker.
The Wiener Schlicker now.
Get the Wiener schlicker on my wiener.
You're so mature. I love
it. Dude, I can't help it. Oh, you guys rock, man. Don't forget, guys, we have a new phone number, and it is for the podcast hotline. If you want to, say something funny, you want to ask a question or give a comment. It is changing. We've had a long time for the last 11 years, but the new one is 509-273-1290. That's 509-273-1290. And that is how you can leave us a voicemail. And we'd love to get your lovely voice on the podcast. You can also go to lawabidingbiker.com/contact. If you're using your computer or something like that, you can use your microphone. It's a service we use. You can just leave a voicemail right there, or drop us a line on the contact form, which is send us via email, and we can check that out, read it, answer your questions. It's all about helping the community. Lurch, the phone number isn't changing. I thought you changed all these.
I missed that one. It's changed in the template, and I changed in the previous.
All right, it's changed now.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm glad that you're changing something that nobody will see.
Right, exactly. No, for us, so you don't drag that into a damn episode and screw it up.
Like I said, I already changed the template, so next
time
you
have.
Be there. Go down the bottom page, check it out.
Sure you have.
I created a template.
All right.
It's been changed.
Hope you guys had fun with us today. We have a lot of fun here, like I say, on these live video broadcasts and chat, and gives us a chance to connect and see your comments in here. Great show, JRod68. Yeah, be safe, brother. God, there's so many names in there. Rick Utag on the iPad. I've gotten a few commercials.
You may not have seen that there. Some of the folks were getting pop-ups during the live.
Oh, yeah, you'll get those. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep. YouTube does that. I don't do that.
Right.
All right.
I think that's something that's new recently.
It is fairly new. All right, guys. We appreciate you being here, and we are going to take it out of here.
Bye, all.
Laters. Give you the real official peace sign. Hashtag, that's what we need. Hashtag Biker Revolution, guys.